Further afield, at least 86 people, including a number of children, have been killed in a series of attacks on a village in northeastern Nigeria. Witnesses said suspected Boko Haram fighters firebombed huts and opened fire on civilians in the village of Dalori, leaving bullet-ridden and charred bodies strewn across the streets.
The remains of a dozen victims were burnt beyond recognition in the weekend attack when militants opened fire on residents, set houses on fire and targeted a crowd with suicide bombers, security officials said. Mohammed Kanar, area coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, said 86 bodies had been collected by Sunday afternoon. Another 62 people were being treated for burns, said Abba Musa of the State Specialist Hospital in Maiduguri, the biggest city in northeastern Nigeria and located around 10 kilometers from the Dalori. A Nigerian military spokesman, Colonel Mustafa Ankas, said that Boko Haram militants attacked the community of Dalori about 5 kilometers east of Maiduguri in Borno State. It was the third attack this week suspected to have been carried out by the insurgent group and the most deadly. Since it started losing control of territory, Boko Haram has reverted to hit-and-run attacks on villages as well as suicide bombings on places of worship or markets. Ankas said insurgents entered Dalori in 2 cars and on motorcycles and opened fire on residents and burnt down houses. An official of the State Emergency Agency who was at the scene said there were 12 bodies burnt beyond recognition. The state is the heartland of the 7-year insurgency that seeks to establish an Islamic state. Over 2 million people have been displaced and thousands killed. Maiduguri has swelled to double its size over the last few years to around 4 million, and it has become the refuge for most of the displaced population. However, Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe opened a 2-day summit at the Assembly of the African Union on Saturday, saying terrorism and violent extremism were a growing threat in the region.
Terrorism has become a major scourge and challenge in many parts of Africa, thus negatively affecting the peace and safety of our people. This evil phenomenon threatens to reverse the gains made in the integration and development of our continent. The challenge for us all is to combine our efforts to fight and defeat terrorism in all its manifestations.